All right, so you landed a Toymaker interview. That's awesome. We're going to dive into some RoleCatcher resources and really help you prep for this.
It's way more than just research the company.
Yeah, this is like leveling up your prep.
Exactly. I've got actual interview questions they could ask you.
Oh, nice.
Plus some insider info from their career guide about what this job really is.
So it's like knowing what they're looking for, AED, how to show off what you bring to the table.
Exactly. With a little help from RoleCatcher's AI, too.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, first things first. What does a Toymaker actually do? More than just like carving wood, I'm guessing.
Oh, way more than just whittling. You design, you sketch, you pick the right materials, part artist, part engineer, and maybe even part repair whiz, especially with all the mechanical toys these days.
Repair? So it's fixing stuff too, not just making new things from scratch.
Absolutely. And here's a tip from the career guide. Sustainable toys are huge right now.
Okay, yeah.
Knowing about eco-friendly stuff, instant bonus points, shows you're ahead of the game.
Makes sense. Okay, so interview questions. RoleCatcher's got a bunch listed, starting with, how did you become interested in toy making?
Classic.
Feels like they want a good story here.
Yeah. It's your chance to show your personality, not just what's on the resume. Think back. Was there a toy that inspired you as a kid? A moment you realized you loved making things.
What if it's more like, I just like working with my hands and toys seem fun. How do you make that more compelling?
It's all about connecting the dots. Do some research on the company. What are they known for?
Okay.
Say they make educational toys. You could talk about loving to take things apart, how they work.
Yeah.
And then tie that to a passion for toys that teach kids about science or building stuff.
That's really smart.
Yeah.
So you're answering the question, but you're showing you get their company too.
Bingo. And this is where RoleCatcher's AI is so cool. It analyzes the company and the job description, and it suggests how to tweak your answers, like a little coach whispering, hey, say this, they'll love it.
I'm sold already. Okay, next question. What are some key skills for toy making?
Obvious ones are in the guide, like design, sculpting, knowing your materials. But don't overlook the hidden gems, like spotting defects you're making stuff for kids. Safety is huge.
Totally. So pointing out your attention to detail, catching a problem before it's a hazard, that's gold.
Yes, and here's where RoleCatcher's AI scoring comes in. It compares your skills to what the JJOB needs.
Oh, handy.
So you see your strengths and where you might need to beef up your answers. If the job's all about repair skills, make sure you talk about that.
Love it. Question 3. How do you stay on top of trends in the toy industry? Events are obvious, but what else?
It's got to be genuine, show you're a toy enthusiast for real. Blogs you follow, online communities, even specific toy designers you admire. That's passion.
Yeah, like it's one thing to say you like reading, another to recommend a book that blew your mind.
Exactly. Think of a recent trend that caught your eye. Eco-friendly toys. STEM stuff. How would that shape your designs?
That's insightful. Okay, big one coming up. Walk me through your process for designing a new toy. This feels like show, don't tell time.
It is. Guide says research, sketching, prototyping, feedback, but don't just list them. Have a specific toy in mind.
Okay, like I'm designing a robot dinosaur that teaches kids to code.
Perfect. Talk them through it, research dino anatomy, coding basics, sketch robot designs, build a prototype, test it out, even get feedback from kids.
So much more engaging. And I remember the guide had a section on showcasing your skills. Is this where a portfolio comes in?
100%. Having pictures, videos of your work, it's huge EE. And guess what? RoleCatcher can help you organize it all, make it look amazing.
Amazing. All right, next 2 questions are all about safety, creativity, and functionality. Feels like the heart of toy making, right?
They are. It's about making toys that kids will love, but that are also well-made and safe, of course.
So for the safety question, mentioning industry standards is a good start.
For sure. Show you know the rules. But T, also, talk about your own WN commitment to safety, non-toxic materials, rigorous testing. Let that passion show.
Going above and beyond because you care.
And again, RoleCatcher's AI can analyze your answers, suggest ways to make them even stronger, hitting those keywords that make you stand out.
I like it. Okay, these next questions are interesting. Collaboration, 3D printing, sustainability, and inclusivity. It's getting broader than just technical skills.
They want to see the big picture thinking, that you get the trends, the challenges, that you care about making toys that are good for kids and the world.
So it's not just a fun toy. It's a thoughtful, responsible toy.
Nailed it. Have a few stories ready. Team project that taught you about collaboration. Used 3D printing for a prototype. Designed a toy that celebrates diversity.
It's not just talk, it's action.
Right. And RoleCatcher's career insights can connect the dots between these areas. They might show how sustainability and inclusivity are huge in toys right now, and then suggest ways to tie that into your answers.
Okay, we've covered a lot. I feel way more ready for these questions.
Good. But there's more to the RoleCatcher guide than just interview prep. We've got sections on getting started and elevating your career, too.
Cool, what's in those?
Things like apprenticeships, building that portfolio we talked about, and networking, getting to know people in the industry. These are actions you can take NOW, even before you get the job.
Like a roadmap to success.
Exactly. And RoleCatcher can even connect you with resources, events, communities, even potential mentors. It's like a career coach right in your pocket.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
RoleCatcher sounds like a total game changer for anyone who wants to make toys.
It really is. Okay, ready for the next step on your Toymaker journey?
Wait, before we move on, something's been bugging me.
What is it?
We talked about toy repair. The guide also mentioned toy restoration. Is that different?
You're right. That's a whole other thing. Think toy doctor bringing old classics back to life.
Okay, now I'm interested. Tell me more about toy restoration. What does that even involve?
Picture this. Antique dolls, vintage tin toys, those teddy bears that have been loved for generations. Toy restoration is about saving them, fixing them with care, bringing back their former glory.
That's awesome. History, art, a bit of magic.
Totally.
Yeah.
You need to know about materials, how old toys were made, even the history of toys. It's special, but super rewarding.
So it's not just indie beauty toys, it's preserving the legacy of old ones.
You got it. And the guide actually has a whole section on toy restoration careers, the skills you need, the kind of work you do, even the job outlook.
Wow, so much to learn. The world of toy making is way more than I ever realized.
It's full of possibilities, making brand new toys or restoring old treasures.
Okay, I'm hooked. Let's dive into that RoleCatcher info on toy restoration and see what we find.
Sounds good. Get ready to explore toy hospitals and antique adventures.
Right.
So you want to be a toy doctor? Let's break down what the RoleCatcher guide has to say about this.
I'm all ears. What kind of skills do you even need for this?
Yeah.
I'm picturing a delicate touch, a ton of patience.
Oh, for sure. It's art, it's history, it's a little bit of detective work, all mixed up. The guide talks about being able to tell what materials are what, knowing how old toys were made, and being able to look at a toy and figure out, okay, what's wrong with this, and what's the best way to fix it.
So it's like toy historian meets toy surgeon.
Exactly. Think about restoring a porcelain doll from, like, the 1800s. Tiny features, intricate clothes.
Wow.
Or maybe a vintage tin wind-up toy. You got to figure out the gears, the springs, carefully fix any damage.
That sounds challenging. What about those teddy bears that have been loved so much they're losing their stuffing? Can you even fix those?
Absolutely. Teddy bear restoration is a whole specialty in itself. Cleaning the fur, replacing missing eyes or noses, even restuffing it so it's cuddly again.
I'm starting to get why this would be such a cool job. It's not just fixing a thing. It's like preserving memories.
You get it. The
Yeah.
guide mentions that a lot of toy restorers work with collectors, people who are serious about toy history.
Oh, cool.
So you're connecting with people who share your passion.
That's really neat. Okay,
Yeah.
so practically speaking, how do you even get into toy restoration? Are there schools for this?
Great question. The guide suggests a few paths. One is to find an apprenticeship with someone who's already a pro.
Learn from a master, huh?
Exactly. Or look for classes or workshops, maybe at a museum, a historical society. Even some art schools teach this stuff.
So there's a way for people who like hands-on learning A&D, for those who like a more formal classroom setting.
And don't forget, RoleCatcher's got tons of resources, articles, videos, even a list of professional organizations you can join.
Like your personal guide to the toy restoration world.
Mm.
Speaking of which, we were talking about typical toy-making careers. What was the next step there?
Right. We covered being a junior toy maker. But let's say you've gotten good, you've got some experience under your belt. Time to level up.
Intermediate toy maker, here we come. What does that even look like? More responsibility, more freedom to be creative.
All of the above. The guide says it's about being more independent. You own your creations. You show off your style. You really understand the craft.
I like it. So what actually changes from junior to intermediate? What kind of stuff are you doing differently?
The guide says you're independently making and reproducing those handmade objects, getting them ready to be sold or even put on display. You're not just helping out anymore, you're running the show.
Like graduating from apprentice to like a real artisan.
Exactly. And for design, you're coming up with your own ideas, sketching them out, showing a unique, creative approach. Think outside the box.
Time to flex those creative muscles. What about materials? More freedom there too.
You bet. You're choosing high-quality materials, understanding how they work, making smart decisions.
So it's not just following directions, it's knowing the WHY behind the choices.
And your skills with cutting, shaping, all that stuff, it's getting more refined, more precise.
You're taking those raw materials and making them into something beautiful.
Exactly. Finishing touches are still part of the job, but you're doing them with more skill, more attention to detail.
It's those little things that make a toy special.
And repairs. You're tackling harder repairs, figuring out those tricky mechanisms with confidence.
Toy Doctor Level Up. The guide had an example profile for this stage too, right?
Yep. It's always cool to see how someone's passion turns into real skills and a career they love.
What's their story?
This person took their love for toy making and honed it into something really special. They learned the basics, and now they work independently, adding their personal touch to everything they make.
It's inspiring to see that growth, from learning to mastering.
And they talk about how important it is to really know your materials, understand their properties, choose the right ones for each project.
Yeah, like a chef who knows exactly which tomato will make the best sauce.
Exactly. And they talk about the pride they feel in those finishing touches, making each toy look its best.
Those little details make such a difference.
They also mention the troubleshooting skills, especially for those complicated mechanical toys. It's about knowing how to fix things, how to make them work again.
The toy detective strikes again. So RoleCatcher's still here to help us at this stage, right?
Absolutely. The career guides can show you what's trending in the industry, what kind of jobs are out there, and the AI tools can help you create a standout resume and portfolio.
It's like a personalized career boost.
Okay.
Ready for the final level. Senior Toymaker. What does it take to get there?
Being a senior toy maker is about more than just being good at making toys. It's about leadership, about teaching others, about pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
Sounds like you're at the top of your game. What do you actually do at that level?
Imagine leading a team of talented toy makers, sharing your knowledge, working together on amazing projects. You're the captain, guiding everyone towards success.
You need to be a good leader, patient, passionate about helping others grow.
For sure. And you're coming up with those groundbreaking designs, the ones that set trends, not just following, but leading.
So you're not just making great toys, you're shaping the future of toys.
Exactly. Material selection is even more important now. You're overseeing the whole process, making sure everything is top-notch, working with suppliers. It's the big picture stuff.
You're like the conductor of the toy-making orchestra.
Right. And your skills are super advanced now. You're using the best techniques, the best tools, always pushing for better, faster, more precise.
It's like being a master chef who knows all the secrets, A&D, the latest gadgets.
And those finishing touches. They're your signature now. What makes your work stand out from everyone else's?
It's like you're leaving your mark on the world, one toy at a time.
And quality control is key. You're checking everything, making sure every toy is perfect. You're setting the bar high.
It's about taking pride in your work and inspiring your team to do the same.
But it's not just about making toys. It's also about making toy makers. You're mentoring those junior folks, helping them grow, passing on your skills.
It's about leaving a legacy, ensuring that the craft lives on.
You're also working with the marketing and sales teams, making sure your awesome creations actually reach the kids who will love them.
So it's about understanding what kids want, what will make them happy.
Exactly. And as a senior toy maker, you might even represent the company at events, showing off your designs, being a spokesperson for the whole craft.
That's the dream. So the guide has an example profile for a senior toy maker too.
Of course. It's always inspiring to see someone who's reached that level.
What can we learn from them?
They talk about how their passion for toy making led them to a leadership role. It's not just about making toys anymore. It's about inspiring others, guiding a whole team.
That's what it's all about, right? Sharing the love, passing on the torch.
And they talk about how important it is to keep innovating, trying new things, experimenting with materials and techniques, never stop learning.
Always pushing the boundaries, never settling for good enough.
And they're super dedicated to quality. Every detail matters. Every toy has to be the best it can be.
Yeah.
It's about pride in your craft.
It's like you're putting a little piece of yourself into every toy you make.
And they love mentoring those younger toy makers, sharing their knowledge, helping them find their own style. It's about building the future of toy making.
It's about creating something bigger than yourself, leaving a positive impact on the world.
Exactly. And they talk about the importance of staying up to date on the latest trends, the new technologies, always refining their craft. It's a lifelong journey.
Never stop learning. So RoleCatcher is there to help us at this level too, right?
Always. Their career guides can help you navigate those senior level roles, and the AI tools can give you personalized advice and feedback, helping you reach your full potential.
It's like having a personal career coach every step of the way.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Okay, ready to explore something a little different. We've talked about the typical career path, but there's more to the Toymaker world.
Oh, what else is there?
The RoleCatcher Guide also has a section on Toymaker FAQs, the most common questions people have about this job.
Interesting. What kind of things are people curious about?
It's a mix from the basics like what does a Toymaker even do, to questions about skills, education, even the challenges you might face.
Makes sense. It's good to know what you're getting into.
One of the most common questions is, what's the role of a Toymaker? People want a clear picture. What do you do day to day? What skills do you need?
So how does the guide answer that?
Yeah.
How does it define what a Toymaker is?
They say it's someone who creates or reproduces those handmade objects we've been talking about, the ones for sale or display. They use all sorts of materials, plastic, wood, fabric, metal. It's about taking an idea and making it real.
Bringing those toy dreams to life.
Right. Another one is, what are the main responsibilities of a Toymaker? They want the nitty-gritty, what are you actually doing all day?
So what are those responsibilities?
It depends what kind of toy making you do, but the guide lists a few. Making and reproducing toys, coming up with designs, sketching them out, picking the right materials, cutting and shaping, all that stuff. Then adding those finishes to make it look nice and last longer. And of course, fixing toys, including those complicated mechanical ones.
It's more than just one skill. It's a whole bunch of them working together.
But it's not just about the technical stuff. People also ask about, like, what kind of person makes a good toy maker?
Oh, interesting. Is there a certain personality type?
The guide says things like creativity, patience, attention to detail, and a love of learning are important.
Makes sense. You got to be able to think outside the box and not get frustrated easily.
Toy making's always changing, so you got to be curious, try new things, keep getting better at what you do.
It's got to be more than a job. It's got to be a passion.
Right. And then there's the question of challenges. People want to know, is this all sunshine and rainbows, or are there tough parts too?
So what are some of those challenges? What should aspiring toy makers be ready for?
One big one is competition from those mass-produced toys, the ones you find in big stores. You're up against those when you're making something unique by hand.
It's about finding your niche, appealing to people who appreciate that handmade touch.
Exactly. The guide also talks about safety regulations. Got to make sure everything's safe for kids, especially if you're using unusual materials or designs.
Yeah, safety first, but still got to be creative.
And then there's the money part. Figuring out what to charge for your work, it's tricky.
Right, you're putting in so much time and effort, but you also want to make sure people can afford your toys.
Finding that sweet spot is tough. And then there's the whole marketing thing. Got to get your toys out there, let people know they exist.
Like, you're not just a toy maker, you're a business person too.
Especially online. Website, social media, all that stuff is important these days.
So many hats to wear.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's about making something that brings people joy.
Probably. And that's the reward. Seeing a kid's face light up when they get one of your toys, it's priceless.
That must be an amazing feeling.
It really is. It's about creating something special, something unique, something that will make someone's day. It's why we do what we do.
Beautifully said. Okay, we've covered so much about becoming a toy maker.
We have, from the basics to the nitty-gritty.
But before we wrap up, the guide mentioned something about alternative titles for toy makers.
Oh, yeah. Toy making is such a broad world. There are actually tons of different job titles depending on what kind of toys you make, what materials you use, even what techniques you specialize in.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What are some of those alternative titles?
Think about someone who makes those beautiful wooden toys, all handcrafted. They might be called a wood toy artisan or a master woodcarver.
Ooh, I like those. Much more descriptive.
Someone who makes cuddly stuffed animals could be a plush toy designer or a soft toy creator.
I love those. It's like their title tells you exactly what they're passionate about.
If you make intricate models, like airplanes or trains, you could be a model builder or a scale model craftsman. And those who restore antique toys, they're toy restorers or antique toy specialists.
It's amazing how many different paths there are. So it's not just one career. It's a whole universe of toy making.
And that's what makes it so exciting. There's a place for everyone, whether you love classic techniques or cutting-edge technology.
Speaking of different paths, the guide also mentioned something about transferable skills. What does that even mean?
It means the skills you learn as a toy maker can be used in other jobs too. Think about it. You're problem solving, designing, creating, fixing.
Yeah, you're using your hands, your brain, your creativity.
And those are skills people need everywhere. The guide lists a bunch. Apply a protective layer, assemble toys, ensure finished product meet requirements, estimate restoration costs, extract products from molds, inspect toys and games for damage, maintain customer service, maintain equipment, maintain records of maintenance interventions, operate battery test equipment, operate sandblaster, pack goods, provide customer follow-up services, repair toys, replace defect components, use repair manuals, and use tools for toy repair.
Whoa, that's a mouthful.
Yeah.
I can see how those skills could be useful in manufacturing, repair work, customer service, even design.
Exactly. And guess what? RoleCatcher's AI can actually look at your skills and experience and suggest other careers that might be a good fit.
It's like they're saying, hey, you're good at this, you might also be good at that.
Exactly. Speaking of related careers, let's wrap up by looking at some jobs that have things in common with toy making. Maybe this will spark some ideas.
Okay, I'm always up for exploring new possibilities.
Yeah.
What are some of those related career paths?
The RoleCatcher Guide suggests a few. Household appliances repair technician, doll maker, watch and clock repairer, and sports equipment repair technician.
Well, those are interesting. It makes sense. The skills definitely overlap.
It shows you just how versatile a toy maker's skills are.
So even if someone decides toy making isn't for them, what they learn along the way can still lead to a great career.
And remember, RoleCatcher's Career Compass can help you explore those other paths, see what skills you need, what the job market's like, all that good stuff.
It's like having a personalized career guide right in your pocket. Well, I think we've uncovered some serious treasures in the world of toy making today.
We have, from classic techniques to cutting-edge technology, from designing new toys to restoring old ones. It's been quite a journey.
I hope this deep dive has been helpful and inspiring for anyone out there who dreams of becoming a toy maker.
It's a career full of creativity, challenges, and rewards. Embrace your passion, never stop learning, and you might just create the next toy that kids will fall in love with.
And don't forget, RoleCatcher is there to support you every step of the way.
Keep those creative sparks flying, and good luck on your toy maker journey. We'll see you on our next deep dive into the world of fascinating careers.
See you then.
All right, so you're ready to explore the world of toy restoration. Let's dive into what the RoleCatcher Guide has to say about this fascinating niche.
I'm all ears. What kind of skills does a toy restorer need? I'm imagining it takes a delicate touch and a lot of patience.
You're absolutely right. It's a blend of artistry, historical knowledge, and a bit of detective work. The guide emphasizes skills like identifying different materials, understanding antique construction techniques, and being able to assess the condition of a toy and determine the best course of treatment.
So it's like being a toy historian and a toy surgeon all rolled into one. What kind of projects might a toy restorer work on?
Oh, the possibilities are endless. Imagine restoring a porcelain doll from the Victorian era with its delicate features and intricate clothing. Or maybe you're tasked with bringing back to life a vintage tin wind-up toy, figuring out how its gears and springs work and carefully repairing any damage.
Those sound like amazing challenges. What about those well-loved teddy bears that have been hugged so much their stuffing is falling out? Can those be restored too?
Absolutely. Teddy bear restoration is a whole specialty within the field. It involves cleaning and repairing the fur, replacing missing eyes or noses, and even restuffing the bear to give it back its original cuddly shape.
I'm starting to understand why this is such a rewarding career path. It's not just about fixing toys, it's about preserving memories and bringing joy to people who cherish these objects.
You've hit the nail on the head. And the guide mentions that many toy restorers work with collectors who are passionate about preserving the history of toys. So you're not just restoring objects, you're connecting with people who share your love for these treasures.
That's incredible. So where does someone even begin if they're interested in pursuing a career in toy restoration? Are there specific schools or training programs?
That's a great question. The guide suggests a few different paths. One option is to seek out an apprenticeship with an experienced toy restorer. That way you can learn the craft hands-on from someone who's been in the trenches.
It's like learning from a master artisan, passing down those traditional skills and techniques.
Exactly. Another option is to look for courses or workshops offered by museums, historical societies, or even some art schools. These can provide more structured training in specific restoration techniques.
So there's a path for both those who prefer hands-on learning and those who benefit from a more formal educational setting.
And don't forget, RoleCatcher has a whole library of resources on toy restoration, including articles, videos, and even a directory of professional organizations you can join.
It's like having a personalized career guide leading you towards your dream job.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And you know what else is interesting? The guide mentions that toy restoration skills are becoming increasingly valuable as more and more people are interested in preserving antiques and vintage items.
That makes sense. In a world of mass-produced goods, those handmade, one-of-a-kind objects are becoming even more special.
Exactly. And as a toy restorer, you're playing a crucial role in keeping those treasures alive for future generations to enjoy.
I'm definitely adding toy restorer to my list of dream jobs. But before we get carried away, I remember we were talking about the typical career path for toy makers. Where were we in that journey?
Right. We explored the ins and outs of being a junior toy maker, but let's shift gears and imagine you've honed your skills, gained some experience, and you're ready for the next level. What does it take to become an intermediate toy maker?
All right, so you've mastered the basics and you're feeling confident. What does this next level look like?
Yeah.
More responsibility, more creative freedom.
You got it. The guide emphasizes that being an intermediate toy maker means stepping into a more independent role. It's about taking ownership of your creations, showcasing your unique style, and demonstrating a deeper understanding of the craft.
That sounds exciting. What are some of the key differences between a junior and an intermediate toy maker? What kind of tasks might an intermediate toy maker be handling?
Well, the guide explains that as an intermediate toy maker, you'll be independently creating and reproducing those handmade objects we discussed earlier, getting them ready for sale or even exhibition. You're no longer just assisting, you're leading the charge.
So it's like graduating from apprentice to artisan. You're taking those skills you learned and applying them to your own unique creations.
Exactly. And when it comes to design, you'll be developing sketching and visualizing your own toy concepts, showcasing a more distinctive and creative approach. Think outside the box, come up with fresh ideas, and let your artistic vision shine.
It sounds like you're really flexing those creative muscles at this stage. What about the materials? Is there more freedom in choosing what to work with?
Absolutely. As an intermediate toy maker, you'll be responsible for selecting those high-quality materials, understanding their properties, and making informed decisions to ensure the best possible results.
So it's about going beyond just following instructions and really understanding the nuances of different materials and how they impact the final product.
Precisely. And your skills in cutting, shaping, and processing those materials will be more refined, demonstrating a mastery of those techniques and bringing your designs to life with precision.
It's like taking those raw materials and transforming them into works of art. What about the finishing touches? Are those still part of the job?
Absolutely. But as an intermediate toy maker, you'll be applying those finishes with even greater artistry and attention to detail, enhancing the visual appeal and durability of your creations.
It's about those little details that make a toy truly special.
Exactly. And let's not forget about the repair aspect. As an intermediate toy maker, your repair skills will continue to evolve, allowing you to tackle more complex repairs and troubleshoot those intricate mechanisms with confidence.
It's like becoming a toy doctor, diagnosing those mechanical ailments and bringing those beloved companions back to life.
You've got it. And just like with the junior toy maker, the RoleCatcher Guide provides an example profile of someone at this intermediate stage of their career. It's always inspiring to see how someone's passion translates into tangible skills and a fulfilling career path.
What kind of story does this profile tell? What can we learn from someone who's already walked this path?
This particular profile highlights someone who's cultivated their passion for toy making into a refined skill set. They've mastered the fundamentals and are now able to work more independently, bringing their own unique touch to each creation.
It's inspiring to see that progression from learning the ropes to becoming a skilled artisan.
And the profile also talks about the importance of material selection, understanding the characteristics of different materials, and choosing the right resources for each project. It's about appreciating the quality and craftsmanship that goes into every aspect of toy making.
It's like those master chefs who can tell the difference between a dozen different types of tomatoes and know exactly which one will make the perfect sauce.
Exactly. And the profile also emphasizes the pride that comes from applying those finishing touches, the details that elevate the visual appeal of the toys and make them stand out. It's about that dedication to craftsmanship that shines through in every piece.
It's those little touches that make a toy feel special, like it was made with love and care.
Precisely. And the profile also mentions the importance of those advanced troubleshooting skills, especially when it comes to those complex mechanical toys. It's about being able to diagnose the problem, identify the faulty part, and make the necessary repairs with precision and expertise.
It's like being a toy detective, uncovering those hidden clues and bringing those beloved companions back to life.
And remember, as you navigate this stage of your career, RoleCatcher is there to support you. Their career guides can offer insights into industry trends and advancement opportunities, and their AI-powered tools can help you tailor your resume and portfolio to stand out from the crowd.
It's like having a personalized career coach in your pocket guiding you towards success.
Exactly. Now, are you ready to take one final leap forward and envision yourself as a seasoned expert, a senior toymaker at the pinnacle of your craft?
Oh, I'm definitely ready for this. What does it take to reach that level of mastery? What sets apart a senior toymaker from the rest?
Being a senior toymaker is about more than just exceptional craftsmanship. It's about leadership, mentorship, and pushing the boundaries of creativity. It's about inspiring others and shaping the future of the toy-making industry.
Okay, so we've talked about those alternative job titles, but what about those transferable skills? What are some of the things toymakers are good at that could be helpful in other careers?
Great point. The guide actually lists a whole bunch. Things like apply a protective layer, assemble toys, ensure finished product meet requirements, making sure things are up to snuff.
Right.
There's estimate restoration costs, extract products from molds, inspect toys and games for damage. Lots of hands-on stuff.
Makes sense.
Oh, and it gets into the business side too, like maintain customer service, maintain equipment, even maintain records of maintenance interventions. There's operate battery test equipment, operate sandblaster, pack goods, provide customer follow-up services. I mean, it's really diverse.
Wow, that is a lot. And of course, there's repair toys, replace defect components, use repair manuals, and use tools for toy repair. It really shows how the skills you learn making toys can be used in all sorts of jobs.
Exactly. Think about it. You're problem solving, designing, creating, fixing. All those things apply to tons of different fields.
Yeah, manufacturing, repairs, customer service, even design.
Absolutely. It's cool to see how those creative, detail-oriented skills are so valuable.
So even if toy making isn't your end goal, the journey can still teach you a lot.
Now, to wrap things up, let's look at some careers that are kinda similar to toy making.
Okay, I like that. Expanding our options.
So the RoleCatcher guide suggests a few, like household appliances repair technician, doll maker, obviously, watch and clock repairer, that intricate stuff,
Yeah.
and sports equipment repair technician.
It's interesting to see those connections, how fixing a toy could lead to fixing all sorts of things.
Exactly. And RoleCatcher's Career Compass can help you explore these further, see what it takes to do them, what the job market's like.
It's like having a whole team of career advisors right there in your phone.
Exactly.
Well, I think we've covered just about everything there is to know about becoming a toy maker. From the basics all the way to those inspiring career paths. It's been a great deep dive.
It has. We've explored so much about this amazing profession.
I hope this has been helpful for anyone out there who dreams of making toys for a living.
Remember, embrace that passion, never stop learning. And who knows, you might just create the next toy that kids will cherish forever.
And don't forget, RoleCatcher is there to support you every step of the way.
Keep those creative sparks flying. And we'll catch you on our next deep dive into the world of fascinating careers.
See you then.